Mac Voices Holiday Gift Guide number 2, Part 1. This is Mac Voices. Today's edition of Mac Voices is supported by the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter that keeps you up with everything Mac Voices is doing. From our published episodes to Chuck's other appearances to special events and more, subscribe at macvoices.com/newsletter and stay fully informed so you don't miss a thing. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Ho, ho, ho. This is the Mac Voices Holiday Gift Guide number 2. We do a bunch of these with as many of our friends as we can get together to help you figure out what you can give and get this holiday season, at least usually in the area of tech. Sometimes it varies from that, but that's part of the fun. If you haven't seen one of these before, the rules are pretty simple. We do 4 rounds of gift picks, 1 gift per round for each of us. So that gives you a total, theoretically, of 16 potential gifts that you might give or want to get. And some of these end up being kind of obvious. Some of them come right off the wall. You just never know what's going to happen. We also will have links to everything we pick in the show notes and also in the Mac Voices Holiday Gift Guide Flipboard magazine to make it a little easier for you to find exactly what we pick, to make sure that you're not just out there grabbing things, but you're grabbing the right things. With that, let's find out who's here for this gift guide, and we'll take it from there. First up, sporting purple hair, Rosemary Orchard. Rose, it's great to see you. Thanks for doing this again.
Well, thanks for having me back. And also thanks for getting me into slot number 2, because I remember last year going through, looking at all my picks and going, nope, already gone. Nope, already gone. Nope, already gone. Nope, already gone. And having to just go through and find new things to do stuff. So I'm excited to be one of the people who's knocking everybody else's picks off the list this year.
Well, it's always tricky trying to coordinate everyone's schedules and the little bonus issue of time zones as well. So I'm glad that we got all this together. Another person who has sported purple hair in the past, but is not today, Mr. Joe Kissel. Joe, good to have you.
Hello, nice to be here, as always.
Will the purple hair ever make a return?
Never say never.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Last but not least, who might have purple in his shirt, that's about as far as he'll go, Mr. Mike Schmitz. Mike, good to have you.
Thanks, Chuck. Good to be here.
Is there purple in the shirt? It looks like there might be on my monitor, but I'm not sure.
Blue, orange, green. I don't think there's purple, but
okay.
Sorry.
Then my monitor needs calibrated. That might be a gift pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you all know the rules. You know how we do this. And if it's okay with you, I'm just going to try to keep the very same order. So, Rose, that gives you the very first gift pick of gift guide number 2.
All right. Well, I'm going to start out with a little cheat because I've kind of got 2 little picks in here, but that's because the second one's really a bonus that only tags onto the first one. So my first pick is this phone case. So this is a phone case from Mous, M-O-U-S, and these are really great. So they have really fun Instagram adverts where they'll take iPhones up and throw them out of planes in their cases, and the iPhones survive. So the phone case is pretty darn good if you can throw a MacBook in one of their bags out of a plane and it's fine. But what I really like about this, there's a couple of neat features. It's got some sort of grip on the side, which makes it easy to grab. The texture on the back is a slightly rubberized fabric, which is really nice. It's nice and tactile, but it'll still slide when you're trying to put it into a tight pocket. But the thing that I really love is there's 2 wristlet attachments on each side of this. So you can buy a mouse lanyard, which happens to come in a lovely shade of lavender, also comes in black and a few other colors, which will then go across your body to hold your phone where you don't necessarily want to have your phone in your pocket. You want to have it out where you're taking lots of pictures and things like that, which especially with the holidays coming up, I'm sure lots of folks will be taking pictures a lot of the time. Also, sometimes some folks like me may have issues where your outfit doesn't have pockets. What do you do with your phone? I need it with me always, so not having pockets is a problem. So having this crossbody lanyard is great, but this crossbody lanyard, it comes with a wristlet as well, because what I can do is it's got carabiners so that I can actually just attach the crossbody part of it. And then I can obviously clip off the other side as well. And then bam, it just slides onto my wrist so that I always have an easy way to keep hold of my phone. And if I bash it into a counter or something, which I'm liable to do because I'm a bit of a klutz, it'll be fine. It's in a mouse case.
Okay, that was pretty intense, Rose. But
sorry, but I had to start with a really great secure one, and they do these for all sorts of various different iPhones and so on. So you don't have to have the latest iPhone to be able to take advantage of the really cool case.
I love the idea, though, that I'm not required to just hold my phone or keep it in a pocket. And I know we've had plenty of discussions on Mac Voices about how women's pants pockets or jeans pockets are not built the same as guys, and so therefore it's tough to keep things in them. So, great options, and even coordinated with your hair too. I love it.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I have black hair, then there's a coordinating option for that as well. But you know me, if there's a purple option, I'm picking it.
Perfect.
Let's be real. We all know people who need that case.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, I love the fact it doesn't add too much bulk either, and especially like the little bit of texture on the side. It's smooth, so it's not going to catch on anything, but like it just means that when you're gripping it, you got it. It's solid.
That also gives you the honor of having the first case pick for this year's gift guides. So, because there always seem to be some. Joe, what do you have for round number one?
Chuck, we've done this a lot of times, and there are certain patterns that are evident in my gift picks. This year will be no exception. Besides having patterns, there's traditionally a certain level of wackiness. If you were to encounter me on the street in real life and ask me what I have in my pockets, I would pull out this. And this object is a case that contains 2 earplugs, not just any earplugs. These are loop earplugs. And if I hold this up to the camera, hopefully you can see it is a sort of loop shape you can see through. I live in an environment with a lot of noise. That can be a story for another time. I don't like noise at all. I like having quiet, but I also like to be able to hear conversations. So I wear earplugs a lot, but the best earplugs, just like the foam kind or whatever, or the over-ear hearing protectors block out too much, so I can't hear what people are saying to me. So 2 different people recommended this relatively new brand of earplug to me called Loop. Loop is the brand name. They are, about a centimeter in diameter, the actual loop side, and then there's the ear tip. There are several different varieties of loop earplugs designed to enhance or suppress different types or levels of noise. So depending on the environment and what you need to accomplish, you might pick one or the other. I was having a hard time picking, but then they came out with this new model. This is called the Loop Switch. And it's not, you won't be able to see this on the camera, but there's a little switch on here. And so it's a 3-way switch, and you can select 3 different levels of sound blockingness according to what you need at the moment. It comes with these rubber tips, and it has, I think, 4 different sizes. So you can pull one off and put another one on to adjust for the size of your ear canal. And it comes in this handy little carrying case here. So when they're not in your ears, they're safe here. They're not getting messed up in your pocket. Super lightweight, compact, versatile. You can wear them almost all the time because usually they will block out only the loud sounds and not the sounds you want to hear. So if you have a need for hearing protection that is below jet airplane level, I mean, this is not the right solution for guns and explosions and super loud things. But if you have a need for moderate to pretty good sound reduction, loop earplugs, and specifically I'm going to go with a loop switch because they are adjustable in how much sound they block. So, and by the way, even the case has a little loop on it to carry. So
Joe, just to be clear, these are passive devices. They are not
electronic. No. They're plastic, but they're really well engineered plastic.
Okay. I have some of the sleep ones, and I think the experience ones, and I got the lanyard for the experience ones. So when I'm wearing them at a concert, if one of them falls out of my ear, then it's gonna land around my neck, and I absolutely love them. Have to recommend them as well.
Awesome.
So they have a sleep version that you can sleep in?
Yeah. I mean, the ones that Joe's got, I think you could sleep in as well, but there's ones that are
I
just
haven't
straight up
tried, but I'll
sleep
bet you
ones.
could. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So-
ones that are straight up sleep ones.
Really? So they are that comfortable and that
Yeah,
what's
they're
the word? I'm
flat
not-
inside your ear, so they're
Okay,
not
that's what I'm
sticking
looking
out
for,
onto the
yeah.
pillow. And
Exactly.
yeah,
okay. Good. Good pick, Joe. Good pick. All right, Mike, round one.
All right. I am going to pick the Opal camera tadpole. The Opal is a 4K webcam that came out probably a couple of years ago, and its big feature is that it has a good sensor in it. There's only so much you can do with the optics of a webcam. So I've been using these for ever since they came out. I'm talking you through one right now in my co-working space. I also have one at home. Prior to this, I had the big DSLR setup because I'm just really particular about my my video and my my audio. But the Opal, makes the Opal great. The previous one was called the C1. It's a USB-C webcam. It has software that goes with it that adds the additional bokeh, and you can adjust the color. It takes a little bit of fiddling, but it's not nearly as bad as an actual DSLR camera, but gets you close to DSLR quality video. Now, what is the tadpole? The tadpole is the next product from the Opal company that has the Sony mirrorless sensor in it that clips onto your laptop. And yes, you can use your iPhone through continuity camera, but if you try to put that on top of a MacBook screen, your screen's going to fall over, your computer's going to fall off your lap. It's not feasible for people who are going to take the laptop places and don't have an office where they could just have this stuff set up. So I haven't used this product specifically because it just came out, but I'm a big fan of the Opal cameras themselves. So I have no doubt that this one is going to provide very good quality video just about anywhere. And the other unique feature about this one is that it actually has a mute switch built into the USB-C cable. So if you're using your laptop at a desk or something and you need to speak up in a meeting, you can unmute, and then it's almost like a hardware mute switch that you can turn your audio off if you're in a loud environment like a coffee shop or co-working space, something like that. I just think this is a pretty brilliant product. I really like what this company makes. And it also comes with a little carrying case and a lanyard, so it's very easy to just throw it in your bag and take it with you. And if you know someone who needs or wants upgraded video for their work meetings, I feel like this would be a great tool for those road warriors.
I can't believe you picked this because we were just discussing this last night, that the tadpole was out, and I knew that you had an Opal camera before, and I assumed you were still using it. So yeah, it looked pretty slick. It looked like it almost could go down over, if you didn't say it, if you said it, I missed it, but that it could go down over a laptop and cover the notch on your MacBook Pro and so it's in that very same position.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know. I think you can use an Opal with anything, but one of the things that kind of drew me to it was sort of Mac first. A lot of the webcams are not. I remember buying a Dell 4K, like the barrel one that sits on top of your monitor, and I got it and I was disappointed because in order to get all the features that it gave you needed to download a PC program, and it wasn't available for the Mac. So yeah, and I've just been really impressed with the optics from the Opal cameras. I know the big thing that people don't like about the Opal cameras is that they run kind of hot, and that basically just makes them nervous. But literally, I've been using it for hours a day, every day for the last couple of years, no issues. So I'm not touching my webcam all that often that it bothers me. I assume also with the Opal and just like the way that they've designed this one differently, they don't need all of the heat sinks, and I don't expect this one to get warm to the touch at all, to be honest. I feel like they've come a long way since those original Opals with the the warmth issues were originally released.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, you kind of confused me a little bit, but I'm going to go with my pick anyway, because I'm going to see your tadpole and raise you the Insta360 webcam, the PTZ webcam, which is point tilt zoom for those who don't know. And I can demo it really, really well because I'm using it right now. I was using a DSLR like Mike. I found that using Camo with the iPhone would give me a better picture, frankly, than the DSLR I had. The only trouble with that is that it's a little bit convenient, especially if you're bouncing on and off camera constantly. I just decided I really need a dedicated webcam. And so I've looked at the Insta. Insta makes some great, really great stuff. But what makes this one unique is its point tilt zoom. So I'm not going to hit any of the real crazy buttons because then you'll get dizzy as I spin around. But I can adjust the camera up, I can adjust the camera to the side, or I can take it back to basically the correct position, depending on where I actually landed when I sat down today. It's seamless. Works great with, we're using Zoom right now, but it's worked fine with Ecamm, with let's see what else, with Teams, with all the other video conferencing software. It is a 4K camera, so the resolution is great. It does have some software that I'm using it to control, but I can also do some image adjustments there if I wanted to, and a number of other cute little things. I'm not going to demonstrate it here because I've had marginal luck with it, and again, sometimes it can misinterpret. But there are ways to give it hand signals that it will recognize a signal. Don't do it. It recognizes a signal I give it with my hand, and it'll zoom or go one direction or do different things. I can set it to auto follow. So right now, I don't think I have it. No, but if I set it to auto follow, I could do that, and the camera will move with me, sort of like the camera on the iPad. So a lot of features here. It's not inexpensive, just like Mike's, but frankly, at this stage of the game, if you want a really good webcam, you're going to pay a little something for it. If you're happy with what your MacBook gives you, or MacBook Pro gives you, or your iMac, or any of the other things that have built-in cameras, yeah, by all means, go for it. But if you want to up your game, this is another great option. I don't know if any of you have had experience with the Insta360 stuff or not, but I definitely highly recommend it.
Sounds pretty cool. I was also going to pick a camera, but that was my seventh option because I was concerned we might end up with too many cameras. So I have a different pick that is camera related to continue from that.
Rose, we can never have too many cameras, Rose.
Oh, I think we possibly could have too many cameras, especially because mine's a whole lot of camera. But what I'm going to pick instead is a little tripod stand for your iPhone, because I'm sure a number of us have wanted to take pictures before, and just you need to prop your phone up, and you're trying to balance it against a coffee mug or something like that, and then things slide, and it doesn't work. And so my pick is this little guy. This is the Moft Snap Invisible Phone Tripod Stand, and it is MagSafe to the back of my iPhone right now. And if I take it off, folks can see it's about the size of a MagSafe wallet. That's how big it is. But this has a couple of neat features. So to start with, it can just fold out. And so it can just sort of prop your phone up a little bit, which can be quite handy if you want to keep it on your desk. But it can also fold all the way down, and then the bottom part of it splits into two to stand your phone up. And so, of course, your phone can stand on this. Your phone can even, stand horizontally. If I hadn't gone past the camera bump, then it wouldn't have come off. And this can be great for taking pictures, especially because where it folds, this is a proper hinge, and it's got a good amount of resistance to it. And that means that when you prop it at a very specific angle, it's going to stay put. And I have to say, this little tripod has been in my bag since I got it. Number of times I have used this to take a group photo of people or things like that has been absolutely ridiculous because it takes basically no space in my pocket, and it will fit into pockets when I have pockets. And it weighs nothing, and it comes in a couple of colors. This light green color that I've got here, this is, I believe this is sea foam. It also comes in a white and a black and a sapphire blue, which is more like a royal blue in my opinion. But either way, I find it's pretty cool. And let's face it, if you're looking to take great pictures and you've already got an iPhone, congratulations, you've got a fabulous camera. If that iPhone's got MagSafe, then why not just up your game with like a $35 product and go have loads of family photos over the holiday season.
That is such a good pick. I did not know about that product because I love putting my camera, my phone on a tripod to get those steady shots that, you know, inevitably my hand shakes just a little more than I want. And the idea that it's MagSafe, but also that it folds up so much like that. I mean, you can put that in your pocket.
Yeah,
and
it's literally the size of a MagSafe wallet because it's a couple of credit cards thick. It doesn't weigh anything, and it's just so small and light, and it's great for, you know, just propping your phone up to take some photos with, or even just putting your phone on a desk so that you can see the screen while you're working or something like that. It comes in handy for me so often.
this is the problem with these gift guide shows is they end up costing me money. I mean, and I think you just did.
Sorry, but not sorry, because that means that it's a great suggestion that somebody else might also appreciate.
Okay, so Joe, are you going to cost me money or are you going to let me off the hook?
You know,
Do it, Joe. Do it. Cost him money.
it depends on how you look at it. So, you know how I sometimes color outside the lines. I'm going to do that now with a sort of vaguely tech adjacent pick, and that is breakfast cereal. This is Magic Spoon cereal. This is what I ate for breakfast this morning. So if you like breakfast and you like things that are round, this meets both of those needs. Now, I say this is tech adjacent because only tech people could have come up with a breakfast cereal that is, so 13 grams of protein, 4 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, no grains, and no gluten, and a non-zero amount of fiber. So this is one of the healthier breakfast cereals that you can obtain. It is only available by mail order or, you know, online. You can get a subscription if you want 4 boxes of this a month, 6 boxes of this a month, any combination of different flavors. You can do that. I do that. I have done that for years because I just really love this cereal. Now, I will say that it hurts me a little bit because, you know, I'm an editor and I care about the usage of words. It hurts me a little bit that they call this a cereal because there's no grains in it. Okay, cereal is, you know, a type of grass. So like, it's not cereal, but it is functionally like breakfast cereal. And it comes in lots of different flavors. There are, I think, 8 flavors available at the moment that are sort of like their perpetual flavors. This is fruity. They've got peanut butter, cocoa, cinnamon roll, frosted, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, birthday cake. They also have a lot of seasonal flavors, like they'll have strawberry and peach flavor in the summer, and they'll have like apple cinnamon and in the fall, and they have, you know, different flavors all the time. Now, the cereal, if it comes in the sort of familiar O shape, right? So if you had a fruity flavor of one of these, you could easily mistake it for Fruit Loops. If you have the frosted flavor, that might taste like, you know, one of those, or the cocoa flavor might taste like one of those, the apple cinnamon flavor, you know, Apple Jacks and so forth. But it's not just a plain O. It also comes in a ring shape, okay, or a loop shape, or a donut shape, or even a torus shape. So you can get any of those. You can even get a box with like all of them together. So if you like things that are round and you like breakfast, and you have a dietary interest in, like, you know, you're on a keto diet, or you can't have gluten, or you just really want more fiber and less sugar, whatever, Magic Spoon cereal. There you go.
So you alluded apparently to the fact that it comes in different flavors.
Yes. Yes. So I have a subscription, and I mix it up from time to time, but you can say, well, I want these 4 flavors delivered to me every month, or these 6 flavors, or however many you want. So sometimes I'll be like, I'm just kind of tired of the peanut butter flavor. I'm going to swap out the peanut butter for a birthday cake next month. Or, I always get cocoa flavor because I really like the cocoa flavor. I always get the fruity flavor because my kid really likes the fruity flavor. This is not cheap. This is not like Fruit Loops cheap. So it's something I like to keep kind of for me and not just give kids big bowlfuls of it. But lots of different flavors, and the flavors are the flavor varieties that you can choose from are changing all the time.
I like it. Joe's hoarding
Yeah.
cereal.
Yeah. I mean, it won't fit in a stocking. I mean, unless you take it out of the box, then it would fit in the stocking.
I think you can get a stocking large enough for that. Apparently, they also do single size portions, because I've just found that on Amazon in the UK, where you can get like little tubs so you can try all the flavors.
I did not know that. For what it's worth, they also have like these bars that are like sort of the same stuff compressed together with some kind of some stuff to hold it together, that you eat, like granola bars or snack bars or something. So I haven't seen the single servings, but that's cool.
Okay. You always do bring something outside the line, and that definitely, I would never have guessed that we would have cereal picked on a MacVoices gift guide. So thank you for the surprise, Joe.
I also appreciate
the thing that mostly only tech people have ever heard of, just because of like how it's sold and how it's marketed. So
I like it.
I also appreciated how you colored outside the lines with colorful boxes and tied it to your previous piece by having the loop shapes in there. That was a very sneaky combo.
If you had 2 of these in your pocket, you could easily mistake one of them for a loop earplug. So,
I'm not going to ask how you know that.
Uh-oh. I think I hear a theme coming to Joe's picks, but we'll see what happens in round 3. Mike, what do you have for round 2?
Well, now that the seal has been broken on the non-tech stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to share a link to they're called packs, but really the gift is the Getaway house experience. So you can get these packs that offer multiple nights, and there's different combinations. But what this is essentially a tiny cabin parked in the middle of the woods, designed for people who need to get away from their day-to-day. So it's not tech related at all. In fact, when you go to one of these, they have a cell phone lockbox you're supposed to put your phone in. But the argument could be made that people who are who consider themselves to be techies probably could use one of these. They're only in the US, unfortunately, and there's a certain number of locations. They have on their website, getaway.house, all of the different outposts. I have been to these, I think, 4 or 5 different times now. I use them when I do my personal retreat process every 90 days. I'll go there and I'll just think through like what happened and plan the next quarter. It's the perfect environment for that, but they're kind of placed, out in the middle of nowhere. The website positions them as like the one near me is it for Milwaukee, but I'm nowhere near Milwaukee. It's actually much closer to my house than it is from Milwaukee. So sometimes they're a bit of a drive, an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from the cities that they say that they're where they're located. But that's kind of the whole idea, is that you get out of the normal environment, you get out into nature. You have the tiny cabin that's parked there. You've got a fire pit, couple of Adirondack chairs, a picnic table. If you want, you can check the box when you book it, and they'll give you a sustenance box with the pasta and the snacks and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to go anywhere, and you just disconnect for a while. And first time you do something like this, it feels a little bit jarring, but that just shows you how much you need it, in my opinion. And they're great. On the website, depending on the location that you choose, they can be a little bit pricey. So the one in Wisconsin by me, typically I go and I can get a 25% off coupon and it's $80 or something. Talk to David about it on the Focus podcast. He tries to go, but the ones where he is are like $300 or $400 a night sometimes. But with these packs, basically you can buy them, and I believe you can use them at even different locations. So you can, the prices are set based on the demand for that calendar period. So you can actually save quite a bit of money by buying these packs. And I think they come in like packs of 3 different nights. So you could do like 3 nights during the week, 3 nights anytime, or any combination of 3 nights. There's different prices for the different configurations there. But this is a really cool experience. I think everyone should try it if they get a chance.
So this is not an Airbnb or a situation where somebody has a cabin and has decided to rent it out. This is a specifically manufactured cabin for this purpose.
Yeah. So the one by me, they bought an old Boy Scout camp, and you like drive in and there's this big loop, and all the campsites are configured where they're off to the side. And when you are at your campsite, theoretically, like you could potentially hear other people that are there, but it's not, if you're used to camping, it's not the typical camping experience. Everybody is there for their retreat. So everyone's real chill, everyone's real quiet. And there's a good chance that you won't see anybody while you're there, even though there are campsites literally like 30 feet away from you. They're all positioned, at least the one where I am, where they're all like looking into the woods. So you don't see all the other people that are at the location, but they've got maybe 40, 50 different campsites around the one where I'm at. And there's also a nature trail. So whenever I go, I'll do part of my personal retreat in the evening. When I get there, I'll get up in the morning and I'll go for a walk on the nature trail. It's like an hour or a mile and a half, something like that. I think all the outposts are configured a little bit differently, but it's also kind of cool in all of the cabins are the same. So you know exactly what you're going to get when you go there. You walk into the cabin, they're powered, they have heating, they have air conditioning, they have a shower, toilet, little kitchenette, gooseneck kettle for your fancy coffee. I mean, it feels very modern, but it's also very intentionally designed. So like they have a radio and it's got Bluetooth capability for it, but there's no internet. They even tell you, depending on the location of the outpost, you may not even have cell signal. So make sure you download the map before you get there, sort of a thing. And it's really cool.
Did not know anything like this existed. So I gather that it does sleep too, since you mentioned 2 Adirondack chairs. I guess you and one other person, or it could go as a couple or whatever.
Yeah, you can. They have different types of cabins, actually. So they have one with a queen bed, but they also have one that has a bunk bed. So you could bring theoretically up to 4 people to one of these cabins. You can also, if you had like a company or organization and you wanted to, you could rent out the entire outpost for like a team retreat, sort of a thing. You can bring your dog. It's a unique experience, but I think it's something that everyone should look to do, that sort of disconnect. And part of the difficulty in that sort of thing is like, well, I don't know where to go and I don't know what to look for and I don't know what to do. And they basically just make it real easy. The website's really well designed and they give you all the instructions that you could eliminate all the decision making from the process if you want to. And then you leave and you come back home and you feel refreshed, because there is something about just disconnecting from all of the tech and all of the notifications and all the day-to-day. Like you can't check your email when you're there if you wanted to. If you brought your laptop, you wouldn't be able to connect to anything. And that's kind of the whole point.
Interesting. Thank you. I love these unique things, these services. I mean, who knew that there was mail order cereal? So this is very nice. I feel kind of inadequate because I went with something that is very practical, but has really I've thoroughly enjoyed using. Earlier this year, I redid my office studio completely. I got rid of my old glass desks. And I've said this before, but if you're thinking about getting a desk and you are thinking about getting a glass desk, don't, because they just represent way too many compromises. They look great, but not so much. Once I got just, the normal laminate kind of desks, I found out that there are a lot of things that you can clamp on these, like a mic stand or a gooseneck for the mic, but more importantly, all kind of other things. And I found one that basically clamps a power strip that is then angled up on top of your desk. The power strip has individual switches, so you can turn it on and off. There are plenty of things that you plug it in and you leave it in, and that's it. But there are always things that seem to come up that I need this for just a minute, but I still have to plug it in. And then I got to crawl down behind the desk or try to find somewhere on the wall to plug it in. Now I have 5 or 6 outlets right on my desk that I could plug something in. I even have the indicators that the switch is hot or not. And so it just is one of those little things that has made my life so much easier and so much more convenient. So if you have a desk that you can clamp things to, and I'll talk more about other things later that I've clamped to my desk, but this is just, it doesn't cost a lot and it's extremely practical. The second part of MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 2 is coming up next time on MacVoices. I'm Chuck Joyner. I'll see you then. As always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices each month. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.